Okay, I am about halfway through and I feel so much better than I thought I would. Legs are still starting to get tired right now, but I feel way better than I did on the 8 miles. So that's good. All right, it's almost time to run again. I'm keeping my intervals. So far I haven't skipped any, and that's a huge win.
It was once said that a goal without a plan is just a wish. At 40 years old, I ran my first half marathon at runDisney's Princess Weekend 2023 after only running for just over a year. I realized that my journey wasn't over and decided to take on Wine Dine Weekend 2023, running the 5K, 10K, and half marathon over the course of just 3 days. Now I have a goal and I have a plan, so follow along while I am out here just chasing pixie dust.
Okay, y'all. So today is, I'm sitting here thinking, is it week 9 or is it week 10? I think we're week 10. My weeks are gotten confused, so I'll put the right one here once I look it up. So this should be day 3 of the training. Full disclosure, I did not run a single day this week until today. This was not my week. I did physical therapy on Tuesday for my hip. We did determine that I definitely have a lot of weakness in my hips, and so that is something we want to strengthen. So we came up with a plan. So I did that on Tuesday. He warned me I would be super sore on Wednesday, and I was, so I didn't run on Wednesday. And then Thursday night, I was going to run before football, my son's football, but then honestly, I didn't eat lunch that day really well. I had a couple bites, and then by the time football rolled around, when I was planning on running, because there's an area to run right near where he was playing, I was so hungry, I just knew that I couldn't run. So dinner it was. And then last night I met friends just last minute to just hang out and catch up. So here we are, just like I said, being honest. However, I just finished a 5K. Today was supposed to be 2 miles, but I did a 5K because I had a 5K planned, and it was my best 5K. I felt great. It was a great run. I felt good. It was great weather. Everything was just great. There were some hills. There was one hill right at the end that was just brutal. It was almost straight up. But other than that, I felt great. There was another woman running who was doing intervals, and we were pretty much the same pace the whole time, and that was such a great feeling. She asked me at one point, she's like, "Hey, are you running intervals?" And I was like, "Yeah, kind of." It's a little less on these hills, but yeah. And she's like, "Yeah, me too." So when we finished, I went up to her because I finished just right ahead of her, and I went up to her and I said, "Look, I just really appreciate you. Thank you so much, because it was so great having you beside me." And she was like, "No, I was going to tell you the same. Thanks for just being right there with me. It was just unspoken the whole time, and I loved it." And I was like, "Yeah, me too." So I just always encourage you to find those people that you race with, because like I said, it was just an unspoken thing. She would run, I would run, we were just right there beside each other, and it was just so encouraging without saying anything. And then to have that moment at the end, we were both like, "Hey, you were it for me." That was great. So yeah, so my pace, okay, I wanted to keep it, my good 5K pace lately has been a 13:30 pretty much. So I wanted to keep it there or better. My average pace, finished this race, y'all, was 12:59, which was great for me. It was a PR for the race. But like I said, I was super proud of that pace. I actually had negative splits, so that was exciting. So negative splits are when you finish faster than what you started. Did that. So yeah, it was just a great feeling. Even if I didn't run the rest of the week, I had a really great race today. Yeah, tomorrow's 9.5. To say that I'm a little bit worried is an understatement. I'm very worried because of how 8 went. So I'm going to be stretching tonight. I'll be stretching in the morning before I go. Weather looks good in the morning. Shouldn't be too hot. So that's great. I'm going to take my hydration vest. I'm going to take all the fuel, all the things. I'll be fueling today. Yeah, so that's the plan. but I'm nervous, so I'll come on before I go and just kind of talk about how I'm feeling, and then I will do that race. But like I said, today's was actually a really fun race. It was at the fairgrounds because our fair is in town, so it was the Cotton Candy Classic race. It was fun. I'll show some footage of just like the fairgrounds. It would have been really cool if the lights were on. They weren't, but it would have been fun. But yeah, and I had a super fun skirt outfit. I love it. I think if you look better, you run faster. Anyway, so yeah, that was it. All right, well, day 3 done. Only 1 out of the 3 so far. And then day 4 will be tomorrow with 9.5 miles. Okay, y'all, it is day 4 of week 10. Like I said earlier, I only did 1 run out of the first 3. So this is 4. So today is 9.5 miles. I am like super nervous about this. It was a great run yesterday. Like I had a great run. It was just one of those days where I felt good. The run was good. Like just everything worked well. And then I'm just really nervous today, for a lot of different reasons. So one being, it's obviously been a long time since I ran 9.5 miles. Like I keep saying, like it's been since February since I've done that kind of distance. So that, obviously worried about my hip. I've been doing, like I said, just started physical therapy just less than a week ago. So obviously it's still where it is. So I'm nervous about that. Last night before I went to bed, I started having some like ear and like throat pain on my right side here. I'm swollen right here. Like my lymph node is swollen. So I know I have like just drainage, where I live. That is just part of life. We have really bad like sinus allergy problems here, because of everything. So anyway, so it's like that feeling like in your ear all the way down this one side. So that is bothering me right now. I took some medicine last night before I went to bed and it definitely helped. I slept okay. However, I didn't want to take the medicine before I ran today because that medicine tends to increase my heart rate, and I didn't want anything increasing my heart rate prior to this run. So I didn't take it. So I've definitely got like the pain and stuff there is actually getting worse the more I talk right now. So anyway, all kinds of different elements to this today. So I am at the same place where I did my 8 miles because there aren't a lot of places to get that kind of distance without having to like keep repeating the same place. So this place, I can get almost 8 miles with down and back. And then, so I will do that and then I'll just go out until I need to and come back again. So, that's the plan. All right, I've got my vest for water. I've got fuel with me, some Humagels. Gonna try sports beans today as well. Yeah, that's where we're at. I've got, let's see, what else do I have with me? Oh, brought some electrolytes. I like Scratch. That's what I've been using. So I've got that with me. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna go do this and hope it doesn't take me like 3 hours to do this in. It won't take me 3 hours, but I know it's gonna take me a good 2 hours, maybe 2:15, based on how I'm feeling and what I'm thinking. Because I'm not going to, I know that I'm not going to be able to keep that same pace I had yesterday, and that's okay. That's fine. But the weather's okay right now. It's not hot. Well, not super hot. It's like 70 right now and a bit overcast. So I'm going to enjoy that while I can. So, all right, 9.5 miles. Let's do this. Okay, I am about halfway through and I feel so much better than I thought I would. Legs are still starting to get tired right now, but I feel way better than I did on the 8 miles, so that's good. All right, it's almost time to run again. I'm keeping my intervals. So far I haven't skipped any, and that's a huge win. Okay, well, we're done. By we I mean me. But it was such a better run than my 8 mile run a couple of weeks ago. That one was just like, the whole time I felt just terrible. Like, I didn't feel great. I didn't feel like running. I couldn't stay with my intervals. I had to walk way too much. I ended up having the really bad hip issues that time, like at mile 6.5, and I ended up having to walk the rest of the way, like just hobble basically. And so it was just very defeated after that one, which is why I was nervous this time. But this was much, much better. A few takeaways. So I kept my intervals until the last mile, maybe just over a mile, maybe a mile and a quarter. And no, it was about the last mile. Anyway, so I kept my intervals until there, and at that point I had to walk quite a bit because I was just struggling. But up until then, I felt really good. My pace was much better. I kept it below. My goal was just to stay 15 minutes or less mile, which sounds like such a long, like terrible pace, but I knew I just wanted to be like easy and sustainable. Like I didn't want to gas myself out, and I didn't want to not be able to finish today. So, and like knowing that I did the 5K yesterday and that I had a good effort yesterday, that was my goal. So I did better than my goal, because the 8 mile run 2 weeks ago, because I had to walk so much and because I was in so much pain, my time for that was like 16.5 was my average pace, which is terrible. So again, today my goal was 15, and I kept it at, I'll double check in a minute, but I think the last time I looked it was 14:26. So that felt good, and like I said, I felt good until that last mile. I did stop a couple of times, more than halfway through. I think it was mile 6, and then 7.5, I stopped and paused for just a minute and did some stretches for my hips, like some hip flexor stretches and things, because I could feel my hips tightening up and I could feel my gait closing in. So I did those. It just definitely seemed to help for a little bit. Again, it gave me that. But again, like that last mile just got me. But I'm okay with that because it's still better than the last time. So that's still an improvement. And one other thing, I took 2 of the Huma gels to fuel, and then the sports beans. The sports beans are going to be a hard no. I could barely swallow them, like, because they're jelly beans, and I don't know why I thought that I would like them. I hate jelly beans. That was just like, I guess in my mind I thought, well, maybe they won't be like regular jelly beans. No, they're straight jelly beans. They're made by Jelly Belly. It's just like the texture for me, I just can't do it. So I started to eat one and I was like, I'm gonna throw up if I eat this. So I just tossed that idea. So Huma gels are definitely what I'm gonna stick with. However, I only brought the 2 because then I brought sports beans. So really I needed a little more fuel, and I can definitely tell because my legs were so tired and I felt so tired like the last 1.5 miles, 2 miles. Whereas as I was fueling throughout the rest of it, I didn't feel that way. So my hope is that if I have enough fuel, I won't have that feeling at the end, which is what we want to avoid. You don't want to feel gassed out at the end. So yeah, my legs are exhausted though. They're so tired. I feel it as I was hobbling up this last little hill here to my car. I was like, whoo. But yeah, but overall, like, I'm so pleased, and I feel so much better than I did 2 weeks ago. So I can only imagine, like, with doing the physical therapy and keeping up with the training, that it's gonna get better, right? And okay, full disclosure, when I was training for Princess, I did not train for Princess half marathon the way that I should have. I knew I didn't. I definitely because of just like, I guess I had started back to school, me taking classes with working in a school, like a month beforehand, and I really let those longer runs like not happen. And so up until that point, like my longest run before my half marathon was only like 8.5 miles, and then I did the half. So I'm already better than I was doing then, and yeah, so feeling pretty good. I'm gonna drink my protein now and drink some electrolytes because I can feel like the dried salt on my face. Yeah, but anyway, feeling good, feeling great. This week, physical therapy tomorrow, and then I'm gonna do my best to get those maintenance runs in this week, and then this weekend, or the coming weekend, thankfully it's only 4 miles. Give these legs a break. But I do have the dry try sprint at Orange Theory that I'm gonna do, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later. So what that looks like, they have a dry try, and then they have what's called a dry try sprint, and they have a new one this year called dry try strength. So I'll tell you guys all about that, but it's at Orange Theory where I also like to work out. But anyway, all right, so thanks for coming along on this one. I'm glad it's over, and I'm glad that it went better. Hey y'all, so it is day 1 of week 11. Oh my gosh, I just can't believe we're this far into it. So I'm here today. Today's supposed to be 30 to 45 minutes. First of all, the fact that I'm actually getting out there, I'm super excited about. Second, I'm gonna do kind of just like a power walk today. So like a quick walk. Mostly because I had physical therapy yesterday and I am like still super sore, but also I had a very physical training today for school, where like we actually had to like get pretty intense. And so because of that, and because of being sore from yesterday, I feel like today like just power walking and stretching my legs is going to be probably the best thing. Also need to get some exercise for my dog Bailey, so we're gonna do that today. Might jog a little bit. Usually don't like doing that with Bailey. I've learned that that's just like not my favorite thing to do. She just doesn't do great at like stopping and starting when I try to do intervals with her. So we'll see. But anyway, the goal is just time on my feet today, stretch these legs out, and then hopefully do an actual like intentional run on Thursday. That's where we're at. So, all right, let me get out there, get this done. I'm already tired, but I know that this will feel really good later, just like moving my legs and just stretching them out. So here we go. Okay, so we're back. You know what? I just need to just make it a point that if I'm actually going to be like doing purposeful training, then I just can't take Bailey with me, which I hate because like I don't feel like I get time to walk her like I used to back when I was home more. But she just like we can't handle it. We had to stop for kids who wanted to play with her, and then there were kids who were throwing a football and she wanted the ball, and then we passed a couple of dogs who she was fine, like she was doing what she needed to be doing, she wasn't barking at them. She's really good about that, but they started barking and were trying to like cross the street and like lunge towards us, and so then she got spooked, and then it was just like, you know what, I can't do this. So after that, like she was like super stressed out and like just like stressing out the whole time. She's a very anxious dog anyway. So I was like, we're just gonna go back home. So yeah, it's just really stressful with her for both of us. Anyway, so at least I got some time on my feet. I do feel better, like having like walked some and like stretched some stuff out. I'm still sore, so I need to do some more stretching. But anyway, so goal for the rest of the week. Tomorrow I'm doing my physical therapy homework, so I've got that. I think I might actually record some of that just so you see like kind of what I'm doing to like strengthen my hips. And then Thursday, run. Cross my fingers for that. Friday, some more physical therapy stuff. And then Saturday, I have the dry try sprint, which is, so the dry try for Orange Theory is where they do it twice a year, usually in March and in September. And so a dry try is, you think of like a triathlon where you're rowing, biking, and running. So this is like their own version of that. So you do a typical dry try is you do 2,000 meter row on the rower, followed by 300 body weight reps on the floor. So things like burpees, push-ups, let's see here, squats, things like that. So it's like a certain number of each. And then you end with a 5K on the tread. So like you have to go in that order: row, floor, tread. So I've done three of them in the past, like the actual dry try like that. So this one I'm doing is a sprint, and the sprint is actually going to be half of that. So it's 1,000 meters, 150 body weight reps, and then just over 1.5 miles on the tread. So a little bit easier. And the only reason I decided to do the sprint versus the full is just because I've been doing so much more running and stuff. I just kind of I've not been going to Orange Theory as much as I used to. I used to go 4 times a week, 5 times a week. And now I'm going like once or twice, or like in some weeks not at all, depending on if I've got a simulation run that weekend. I'll just do 2 runs versus the other. So anyway, so doing that, and then I've got a 4-mile run on Sunday. So that's the plan for the rest of this week for week 11. But yeah, anyway, I think I'm gonna record some of the physical therapy stuff so you guys can see that this week as well. So, all right, so day 1, week 11, check, all done. Okay guys, just a like quick update on how training went. So this week was, let's see here, this would have been week 11. So it was my birthday week. So for that, I did not, like, I think I did one run during the week, and then that weekend I was set to do my I think 4 miles on Sunday. I did skip that run because on Saturday, which was the 16th, I did a dry try at Orange Theory. I think I talked about that a little bit. And so I did that instead, which really wasn't like an accurate replacement, but after doing that on Saturday, I was so wiped, I decided to just not do that, the 4 miles on Sunday. Anyway, it was the decision at the time. I realized there have been probably too many just like skipped runs throughout this, which was not what I wanted it to be. But I think because I did the dry try, so I had like rowing and I had the body weights, and then I had the running on the treadmill. I at least got some stuff in, and I still feel good about that. Like looking forward to my next training cycle, I really miss Orange Theory. I haven't been going as much because I have been supplementing like more running because of the training. But I've spoken to several people who do Orange Theory and train for runDisney races and things like that, and a lot of them use Orange Theory like in connection with their training. So maybe moving forward, like next training cycle, I might do like one maintenance run during the week and then an Orange Theory class to like supplement that, because we're still running. It's not as much, but I feel like you're still building endurance and you're also getting the strength there, so that's really good. And I think it might be better for me next time. So I'm gonna reevaluate that, but I think that might be what I do next time. But for now, we're just gonna kind of keep doing what I've been doing for the most part. Anyway, that's just a quick update on how that went. So I did the dry try sprint, which is not the full version, it's the half version. I'm really glad I didn't do the full version because I think that would have just like kicked my butt right now. It's tough. But the sprint is still like, it's still a lot. And honestly, I felt just as worn out after the sprint as I usually do from the full. So I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so that's just a quick update on how this last week of training went.